I'm Leslie Weidenbender. Welcome to Comcast Newsmakers. I'm here today with Representative John Price, who is a Republican from Greenwood. Welcome.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
This is your first legislative session. Tell us how things are going.
I think it's going well. It's, I guess, a learning curve from local government, but it's been very pleasant. A lot of the senior legislators have been very good to work with, and people across the aisle have been very good to work with.
Now, you were a former county commissioner.
That's
is
correct.
That right?
That's correct.
So, what is the difference between being in local government and state government, and also how do you think your local government experience is affecting what you're doing now?
Well, I think my local government experience was you're close to the people, and I think that having them come in and give me information from the different constituents in regards to their issues on day-to-day and so forth and what they felt was important, you dealt with those. You do the same thing here, just in a greater scale, and you get into more topics statewide rather than just specific to local. So there is some difference, but I think the same principles and the same due diligence and study on the issues is similar.
So one of the bills that you've authored would make a change in the way a town can be incorporated. Tell us why you thought that was necessary and what it does.
Well, that came up while I was a county commissioner, and there was a number of constituents, in fact, I think 3,111 that made contact to me, that there's a group that wanted to petition to have an incorporation of the town of Center Grove in White River Township. It's about a 28,000 community. And currently under the law, it was 50 signatures. The numeration, you go through the procedures with the second class cities permission, back to the commissioners and so forth. That's condensed, but in my bill proposes instead of 50 signatures, it's 10% of the defined petitioned area, and then it goes forward in the same things it has to follow, the mailers to people and the commissioners and so forth. But then it comes back to the commissioners that passes through everything, and then the commissioners can either make a decision on it, either for or against, or they can send it to a referendum. And that was the big push I heard from my constituents, is that, John, we feel that something of this big of magnitude is going to have on us in taxes and so forth, that we'd like to have a chance to have a say in it. And so that's what this bill basically does.
And so the Senate has passed a bill that has to do with intimidation. You're going to be the House sponsor.
Yes.
Explain that bill to us.
Well, currently under the law, the intimidation has to speak to a specific person, and we're seeing that these are coming into hospitals, schools, and so forth, and so we're trying to make it where if it comes into there and they can track down who the originator of the call was, that they can go and pursue that from there.
So the House budget that passed has some additional money for roads in it. Tell me how you feel about that.
Yes, obviously roads and bridges infrastructure is important to me. From local government, I've seen it. I had several mayors around the state had contacted me, commissioners, and I felt that under the leadership of Chairman Brown and Speaker Bosman, I think that the monies that put in there and moving the state police and the Bureau of Motor Vehicles over into the general fund, I think that's good, because I think if we take and collect taxes from individuals throughout, that we need to, what we're collecting it for, spend it for that. So I think this is getting more in line with spending the money for what we collect it for, and people can see it's going back into all their communities to improve their infrastructure.
Well, thank you so much, Representative Price, for being here with us today.
Thank you, it's a pleasure, enjoyed it.
Good luck with the rest of your first session.
Thank you.
I'm here at the Indiana State House with Representative John Price. This has been Comcast Newsmakers. I'm Leslie Weidenbender.